I'm such an undercover nerd that every time I get to infiltrate any kind of like beloved IP, I just kind of sit in the corner and go, yes, now I'm in your Assassin's Creed too.
Welcome to the Character Sheet, your home for all things fantasy and TTRPG news. And today we have a very special guest. You may know him from Critical Role. You may know him from his upcoming game, Date Everything, where the rumor is you can potentially date everything. But today we're here to talk to Robbie Daymond about a very special merging of two worlds, as his character from Critical Role's Assassin's Creed Shadows one-shot is now part of a story-packed DLC for Assassin's Creed Shadows. So Robbie Daymond, thank you very much for joining us.
I'm so glad to be here, man. I didn't even ask for a plug, and you just threw one right at me out of the gate. You're a good guy. Appreciate that.
Well, let's talk about your character. This is the first time Critical Role has had crossovers with video games, but never a direct port of a one-shot into a DLC like this. So let's talk about your character, Rufino. How did you come up with Rufino, and did you ever have the idea that he would be in the game one day?
Yeah, no, of course not. I think this is a first for CR, and to my understanding, a first for Assassin's Creed. So, first of all, it's just an honor. So I'm really excited to be now not only in the one shot but in the game. Creating Rufino is, I never thought I would have a process for creating a D&D character, but I think I do now. I'm an old school theater kid, so. I really sort of value a backstory that leads to strong choices and interesting characterization. So the game wasn't out yet when we did our one shot. So it was really an interesting research process. So I had to check out whatever was public information about the game. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, I want to do it right historically. So I looked at how a player from my background and my personality and perspective would be able to create a character that would fit in this world. So historically, I looked into the Portuguese influence of trade in Japan, and I did my historical research, and boy, did I feel relief when I saw the opening few moments of the game when it finally dropped, because I was like, oh, good, I didn't research my history wrong. So and that's sort of where Rufino started, and then Rufino was refined as the game continued on, and I worked with Matt and the team over at CR to help bring this one shot to life as a cast member.
Oh, that's awesome. And I mean, I have to ask, I'm a huge fan of the movie, but if you drop the N in Rufino and you're talking about a feral, free-spirited wild child who was orphaned by mission, is this a bangarang situation? Is this Rufio?
Are you talking about my real life friend, Dante Bosco, who I ride motorcycles with occasionally on the weekends? That is so funny that you mentioned it. I love Dante. He's one of my favorite humans on this planet, but he was not part of the inspiration for this. Or he was, whatever makes it sound better. I'm just kidding. No, I didn't think of that. But now that you say it, it all makes sense now. My own childhood is coming back to infiltrate my character creation. Thanks a lot for calling me out, Pete. Now I know more about myself. Yuck.
Listen, I remember I saw Hook in the theaters maybe 5 times with I was obsessed with that as a child for some reason.
Oh, yeah. It's one of my all-time
Such a great movie.
Yeah.
Also, the best sneaky Glenn Close cameo ever.
Oh my God, that's right. Oh, so funny. But no, I sadly was not part of the creation process.
So when you guys sat down to do the one shot, did you have any concept that this would be a thing that was potentially going to be beyond just a sponsored stream, but turn into a DLC, or was this just completely something that took you by surprise after the fact?
No, 100% by surprise after the fact. I don't think anybody at the table was planning for it. It wasn't pre-cooked into the creation of the one shot. And remember, I'm CR adjacent, so anything I say about the internal workings of how this transpired is just my own take on it. But from what I understand, I think I can reliably say that no one was expecting this to happen. So it was really out of left field, and we were all really excited about it when both CR and then my agents over at SBV said, hey, there's this potential licensing thing. Would you want to be a part of it? And obviously the answer is yes, of course.
No, that's awesome. And then because you got to play the one shot with 2 existing characters in the game, and how was that to see, especially in the case of Peter Shinkoda, where he started out a little slow, sort of feeling around the system, but by the end, he was so invested in that one shot. Like, what's it like getting to interact with a character in the game outside of the game like that?
Yeah, that's funny. Peter was like, my best friend is a Hawaiian Filipino. So when he saw that I was playing with Peter, he basically lost his mind. It was like one of his like childhood teenage like TV movie heroes, and I knew him from his work. So it was really cool to see that he's clearly such a invested actor. But yeah, watching someone work through their first tabletop experience, it is really interesting to be on the other side of it, because in a sense that was me 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And Peter was put in this situation of trial by fire. So he just got through into a one shot, and I watched him evolve from understanding the core gameplay mechanic to the end, just wanting to continue to tell the story. It was for me, it was a really fun experience to watch the wheels turn and understand that he could shape this story instead of just being a cog in a machine of something like a movie or a TV, that he was actively storytelling with the rest of us. And then once he locked into it, the charm of seeing how invested he was in it is about as good as it gets. Yeah.
And then for, I guess for fans that have seen the one shot, how much of the story DLC is sort of like almost like a 1-for-1 where maybe you're even using some of the same lines? And then how much of it is sort of a new adventure in the mold of that, just sort of following Rufino around?
Yeah, to keep it spoiler free,
yes, please, yeah.
Let's just say that the world and time period that Matt set up in that one shot serves as a foundation for this new story that's going to unfold when Rufino sort of gets integrated into the core cast of the game. So there's definitely elements of the story that we told in the one shot that are there. But as Matt said, as we were playing, this is not necessarily canon. We're just playing in the world of Assassin's Creed, not knowing that someday what he was doing would indeed become canon. Classic Mercer move. But yeah, none of us knew. So what I was really impressed with and uncertain of, but expecting with high expectations that were fulfilled by Ubisoft's team, is that the story that they told, I feel like, is just as compelling than what we were trying to do at the one shot. So where I feel the real strengths are here is that perhaps the fan base that's more connected to the game will be able to enjoy these characters without having that context of the one shot. And then fans of CR and the one shot will hopefully be propelled into this amazing game world. I really feel like, whenever you're talking about licensing of any kind of two properties crossing, it has to feel organic, and the storytelling has to justify why you would bring them together. And I just can't compliment both teams enough, because it felt so organic. It felt like everything that we worked on for a character that was as developed as it could be for a one-shot playthrough could then be taken by this team that know their world so much and write it into a story that feels organic. And I'm just really excited for players to get their hands on it. It's really, really good stuff.
And speaking of that, have you had a chance to experience the story pack DLC yourself? And is it still, like, even with your career as prolific as it is it still like a thrill every time you run into yourself in game like that?
Oh, I'm such an undercover nerd that every time I get to infiltrate any kind of like beloved IP, I just kind of sit in the corner and go, yes, now I'm in your Assassin's Creed too. But no, for real, I'm absolutely going to play. Here's the truth, Pete. Don't out me as a fake gamer right now. I've got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. I've watched exactly 0 television and played 0 video games in 2025. Mostly because I've got little kids and because I'm making one, as you mentioned at the beginning. So the idea of playing a game for leisure right now is not quite a high on my priority list, but I think Assassin's Creed will be at the top once I get a chance to play. I've loved the series forever. One of my all-time favorites. Oh my God, Connor is like one of my all-time favorite MCs. Obviously, I'm native, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I just love that story. But I've played, I would say, probably 80% of the games, so I'm so excited to jump into Shadows when the time comes. Yeah, I'm really excited.
I answered another one of my questions. That was going to be what your favorite Assassin's Creed was.
Oh, I didn't mean to jump your gun. I'm
great
sorry.
One.
Yeah, that for me, I think it's interesting when you ask about favorites, because I think it has so little to do objectively what's the best for you. But for me, as a lifelong gamer, it's always about like when you played the game in your life. And when that game came out, it was just like the perfect timing for me as a person, and it dominated my life for like 3 weeks. I just played it to death. So yeah, that was one of my all-time favorites for sure.
No, that's awesome. And then let's see here. Well, you've played a lot of characters on Critical Role. However, that's a very different world than the world of Assassin's Creed Shadows, a very dangerous world. What do you think happens? I'll pick two of my favorite of your characters. If let's say Dorian and Dink both got dropped into this world, who survives the longest? Or is it just sort of game over immediately for both of them?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, Dink is made of stone, so he's probably got some. And the last I checked, there was no magic in Assassin's Creed, though. Who knows? Maybe in 2040. But I don't know. I feel like both of them would do okay. I think that they are both sweet boys, and they might be abhorred by the level of violence and terror going on in this era. But I think they do okay. I feel like I built a good sword bard. I feel like he could scrap a little bit. And poor Dink, I don't know. You'd have to just get him out into the rural areas. I don't know. Give Dink a farm, please. Let him be happy. He was never meant to be a soldier.
A sweet little rock boy.
Yeah, yeah, man. But more, I think more to your question. I've been in video games for the better part of the last decade and a half, and cartoons and anime and all kinds of media, from as serious as it gets to as lighthearted as it gets, from preschool educational programming to Cyberpunk 2077, right? Like it's as big a gap as you can be in. And I think as I get older, the more interest that I have in is less the style of what I'm doing and more the story that's being told. And that's why I feel like this licensing collab, whatever you want to call it, feels so good, is because it just feels so organic. It feels like we're just out here trying to tell stories, and whatever gameplay mechanic seems the most fun for the audience. So yeah, for me, this is great. It's fantastic.
Cool. One more big Assassin's Creed question, then we'll end with a fun little lightning round. Whenever I have a Critical Role cast member on, I like to do a little lightning round at the end.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most interesting things about this Assassin's Creed collab is, I imagine as a voice actor, this might be one of the first times you've got to go into a VO session where you know all the motivations in the background of the character because you made the character. Like, how different is that experience than your normal experience?
I guess I could do real talk with you. Whatever developed between the events of the one shot and what happens in game, I wasn't privy to until I got the script when we came in to record the DLC. So, I mean, I got it a little beforehand and I read it through, but I don't think it was until I got a chance to like really dig in our second and third session and really get into like the motivations of what was going on, of how Rufino had changed over that period of time. So I think for the people that saw the one shot, there will be a marked change in the character itself. We're going to see him in a completely different scenario, and life has changed him quite a bit. But for fans of the game who might not be familiar with the one shot, if they want to delve into what has made this man who he is now versus what happened to him when he was a younger man, it'll be a really cool way for people who might want to cross over and check that out if the story really captivates them. So it was an amazing experience. It was a little scary turning over a character that like I kind of really fell in love with right away. I always want to create a TTRPG character that not only the audience is going to love, but that I'm going to love. So it was scary to be like, okay, here you go. I hope he's still likable or whatever, all the things that I enjoyed about him. And it took me a minute to be like, okay, I'm sold on this. But once I did, I'm always going to do my job as an actor. And then I think where everything aligned after that first round of performance, and then what the team came back afterwards with the next few sessions, boy, does it feel good. Like after a little bit of time of development, getting to see what they came up with for the game, oh man, it's just really exciting to see. It feels good. The performance that are surrounding it all feel good, and the storytelling portion of it feels good. I'm so excited for people to play.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I also cannot wait to play the Story Pack DLC.
Yeah.
Remember, we have a Critical Role cast member on. We always have to end with a quick lightning round. And in honor of this collab, your lightning round category is Assassin's Creed or just Creed. I'm going to give you the name of something. It will either be a chapter of one of the Assassin's Creed games or a Creed song title.
All right, my arms are wide open. Let's do this.
Exactly. And you just have to tell me Assassin's Creed or Creed.
Okay.
First off, World That Remains.
Oh, no. World That Remains. Assassin's Creed?
It is. It's from this one. It's from Shadow.
Okay, good. Okay.
Next up, Pieces of Eden.
Oh, that's Creed for sure.
Assassin's Creed. Shadows.
What? Weren't they a Christian band? Low-key? I can't remember.
You'll be shocked at how close these go. This was originally a joke category that turned out to be incredibly hard.
Yeah, this is difficult. All right.
Pity for a Dime.
Pity for a Dime. I'm gonna go Creed again.
Correct. Yes, it is Creed.
Okay.
All right, we're back on track. Tie the Noose.
Tie the Noose. I don't know. That's vaguely piratey. I'm gonna go Assassin's Creed.
It's Creed.
This is the worst moment of my life, Pete.
I did this to Liam with Byron Poem or Emo Band, and it haunts him to this day.
Oh, all right.
But the plus side, these are all great. It's just really strange how much overlap there is. Next one is Bread of Shame.
Bread of Shame?
Bread of Shame.
Bread of Shame. Oh, God. Assassin's Creed?
It's a Creed song.
There's a Creed song called Bread of Shame?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Imagine My Surprise.
Assassin's Creed.
Correct.
Oh my God.
It's from Black Flag of all things.
All right. This has just turned into a coin toss simulator.
Yeah.
All right.
Bound and Tied.
Bound and Tied. Creed.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. We're on to the final four here.
Unlocking some latent like middle school, high school memories here.
Exactly. It's middle school dance stuff for sure.
Okay.
Behind the Masks.
Behind the Masks. Behind the Masks. Assassin's Creed?
Correct.
What is that from? I got to need some context.
Behind the Masks is weirdly from Valhalla, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Next up, Faceless Man.
Faceless Man.
Who might be behind the masks.
Oh, man. Faceless Man sounds just edgelord enough to be Creed. I'm going to guess Creed.
It's Creed.
Okay, good.
Final two. Let's go with Brother's Keeper.
Brother's Keeper. Brother's Keeper. I feel like that's Assassin's Creed.
It is.
Okay. What is that? Which one is that from?
Away in Silence.
Away in Silence, Creed.
It's Creed, yes.
Oh,
I
feel like I did okay, Pete.
You finished very strong.
Okay, good. I was
just
really
insane
nervous
how
there in the middle. That was scary.
There's Eye for an Eye, which is weirdly Assassin's Creed and not Creed. And there's, it's bizarre how much overlap there was. But once again,
That was a lot harder than I was expecting. Usually these kind of games are sort of softball. Pete, you came in swinging. That was
We always
terrifying.
try on this channel. Well, guys, if you enjoyed watching this, and if you enjoy Robbie Daymond, go download the DLC pack. Play Rufino yourself in Assassin's Creed Shadows. I will put the date that it becomes available on screen right here. I will do it. Future Peter will edit it in at this point. And as always, Robbie Daymond, thank you so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure. We're so excited to play this ourselves. And everyone at home, please do the YouTube stuff, the liking and subscribing, and we'll be back with another video tomorrow.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you so much.